advisor if you're an intern.
You want to ask the client ahead of time.
I was just gonna say, does it cross any personal lines you're not supposed to?
No, but it you know, I'd rather not have them in the room.
Sure.
To be honest, you know, but.
And that's why the invite, you know, is it realistic that any client's going to let you sit in? No. Can you take them through your process? That's an idea too.
Take it on networking meetings, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eric, you had a point you were going to bring up too?
Yeah, we should have Nick Murray book studies, man.
Yeah,
Who has my copy, by the way? One of you two?
and the new financial guide.
Mar Lodge can lead it.
Maybe before they start, they have to present a book report on the new financial advisor, and then we can do a book study on the
I would
numbers.
run the other way.
And then we can do a book study on the numbers game while they start, because then they're prospecting and then reading about prospecting, and then prospecting and reading about prospecting.
I think it should be a requirement to read the game numbers,
Totally.
right, like during boot camp or right after it. Or before.
I thought about before, but
Probably
I
after.
think it's better during, like, because you read the whole thing, but you've never made a phone call. I don't
Yeah,
think you're
that's
gonna
true.
get as much out of it, but if you're doing it like, you're reading a chapter every week
Mhm.
while you're making a lot of phone calls, you have direct injection of inspiration from Nick Murray, and then you pick up a phone.
Mhm.
And then more direct injection of inspiration, and you pick up a phone again.
So you would do financial
I would
advisor
do new
first
financial advisor
before
to
they
show
come.
the big picture. That's why I said beforehand, and do a book report on it, and then mechanical game of numbers as your
You
prospect.
said that would have been a big turnout for you?
Doing a book report before I started a job? Yeah, no, there's no way. Sorry.
A lot of advisors say that. Eric Booth said he never read a book in his life before.
Yeah, I'd read the book. I'm just saying, if I had to do a report, I mean, you're talking to a guy who used to hide his books in his classrooms in college, so he didn't have to carry them home. So
At least
that
you went
was
to class, man.
I did go to class.
Also coming from a guy who reads books in a deer stand. What? Who does that?
Just think of where you could be if you read those books.
I don't.
Anything else as far as people get, where we should have them attend?
I don't know about the pre-CSD date, but I know Eric's made this comment many times that right after he started, every time he didn't have a meeting, that there was one of those calls for whether it's about a product or MOS call or whatever it was. He knew that he had to be a sponge, that, you know, you're self-employed, and I sat on a bunch of those as well, that, and I don't know if they still have them as often as they did
Yeah,
back then.
A lot of DLWs, not so much from MOIS.
Okay.
No,
They're all-
I'm talking
they're all
about
recorded.
DLWs.
Yeah.
Like most of the ones I'm talking about weren't NYS stuff. I'm talking about like how to run WinFlex illustrations.
They had classes on that?
Crap loads. I mean, just as much as they do today. But I would print off a schedule, put it on Mike's store so everybody could sign on. I'd be all by myself in the room, like listening to it every